Hello and welcome to another Baggie Brothers video. We're talking all things Albion, and this is one of our post-match chats following on from the West Brom game against Crystal Palace, where we got absolutely battered 5-1. Adam, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. You
Yeah, fine.
recovered from that amazing result?
I'll be honest with you, I kind of zoned out of the game once it was 2-1.
Yeah, no.
Mentally, I was like, cool, well, we're done.
Yeah, as soon as that goal went in, all of our heads went down, and we knew that was game over, basically. And I even put on Instagram just by how many. Yeah, it wasn't the best, was it?
Yeah, but I saw you updating our story, and you didn't even bother. Like after, it was like 4-1.
I think it was 4-1. I just thought
you got to 4-1. I'm done. Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you start?
First 30 minutes, I thought we played really well.
We looked decent.
I thought we were dominating in possession. We were playing the ball around quite nicely. Yes, it was a lucky goal they got. Obviously, Furlong didn't quite put the ball over his menu, but those things happen, don't they? So you can kind of forgive it.
In games.
He went up and hit the bar, and then obviously crossed it to Gallagher to get the goal, which was another good goal by Gallagher.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, but then
pretty much up until the red card, it looked like it was even pacing. Very like the Everton game.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get something out of the game. But then obviously going down to 10 men completely messed up our whole system. And after that, it just didn't look like we recovered. It didn't look like people knew what they were doing in the team. They didn't know their positions, their roles. It just all went to pot, and that's why we were absolutely opened up.
Well, it's the second time this season that we've lost to a 5-something. And both of those games were when we had a red card.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is, and I'm sure many teams don't really plan for this sort of thing because you hope all 11 players are on the pitch. But the 2 times we've had players sent off, we've had 5 goals scored against us. So Slav needs to have some sort of plan that as soon as there's a red card, we go to like a flat 8 at the back and just have have Conor Gallagher sitting on the the halfway line, and then everybody else, you just defend. You don't do anything else for the rest of this game, even if there's a red card in the 5th minute.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but yeah, it just looks like our whole shape went out of place as soon as Pereira, which I don't understand why defensively it should, because nothing defensively has changed at the back. It's literally
the Gibbs one. It made sense. Maybe defense fell apart.
Exactly. Yeah, but
when a forward goes off,
I think as soon as they hit 2-1, it literally all the players just went. What is the point? Yeah.
But it's another game where we've had I'm not going to say controversial VAR decision, but we've had a VAR decision go against us that has.
Well, me and you've got mixed
cost us the
views
game
on it, haven't we?
I think we have shared views on VAR.
Yeah, we do.
But we probably have mixed views on this particular foul.
Yeah, I think it was a yellow card at worst. And it was weird. I was watching the Baggies bulletin actually on Instagram, and he put up a story saying about it. And I actually agree with what he said. When the ref went over to look at it, he pulled out the yellow card, and I thought, really? You're going to give him a yellow card for that? It doesn't look cynical enough, or it didn't look like he was trying to intentionally hurt him, which is deemed a yellow or red card. And I thought, oh, that's a bit harsh. And then, he pulls out the red card, and couldn't believe it. I just was baffled. So
I was pretty baffled that it was a red, that it was a straight red. I don't think it's anyone's place to say whether a player has intentionally done something like that. It's like you could argue it's the same thing as like the Beckham tackle in '98. Like a leg gets stuck out, and it's like that could just be like an awkward landing or an awkward like leg movement, and he's trying to get up, and he just happens to have caught someone and it's got him a red card. He could have very much intended to stick studs in Van Aanholt, but at the end of the day, intentional or not, I still don't think it's a red. I think, like I was saying to you just before, I think it's a yellow, and at most the ref should be like, look, you do anything again and you're fucking off, but don't do anything naughty again. And again, is it up to us? I don't know. I haven't seen any pundits talking about it, so I don't know what the general sort of talk is about whether it's a red or not.
From what I've seen and what I've heard from even like the guys in the studio, they all said it's a real soft red card.
It does seem very soft.
It just wrecks the game for us, really. And another one that's doing the rounds on social media is comparison, which is a really good comparison, is Harry Maguire kicking out at that Chelsea player.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing, and Harry Maguire didn't even get. I think, did he get booked for it? I can't remember.
I mean, if he did, then that's what.
But he didn't get sent off. but he didn't
Yeah,
get sent off. This is
yeah.
the problem with VAR. It's the inconsistency of it.
I don't know if it's the inconsistency of VAR. It's the inconsistency of the referee's interpretation of VAR. Because I am all for video assisting, because there have been many a time in the past where, as a West Brom fan and an England fan, VAR would have saved both teams' asses. But at the same time, because if you're going to say that you want it there, then you can't say that you don't want it in other
no, I
places.
get it. If it works properly, I think
Of
it's
course,
brilliant. But
I
it's
think it's
got
just
to
people
be
don't know how to read it.
no, and I think it's the people at is it Setchley Park, wherever it is, where they're doing all the video,
I can't remember.
wherever anyway, wherever they're
Yeah.
doing all these, watching it back and doing the replays and stuff. There's got to be some sort of guidelines for them that they've got to go, right, is it this tick, is it this tick, right, we've got to tell the ref. Because there was another one in the game that I mentioned to you just before coming on, McCarthy, one of them, McCarthy. He
Thanks, McCarthy.
we cleared the ball from a corner, and I think it was Gallagher got the ball in the midfield, and we would look like we could counter. And he came in, stood up, flying over the top of the ball, and took him out. And I thought, well, if Pereira has had to go and be looked at again, and it was given a foul, that was given a foul and a free kick. Why wasn't that gone and revisited with the studs up? And it was intentional.
Yeah.
This is just so. It's
Yeah.
not going for us.
I mean,
no decisions at all.
Yeah,
on VR,
it
zero.
is very tricky. It's very tricky, isn't it? Because on one hand, like, we look at especially the last few games for us, and there's been a few VAR things, and you're like, really? Like, they're going against us? Like, they happen in other games. All this stuff happens in many other games, yet they don't stop the game. I don't know if there is some sort of conspiracy, because we're going to start looking like nuts if we start going, there's some sort of conspiracy that the Premier League don't want West Brom in there, because we're going to look mental.
But it's going to get to that point if they do it every game.
If it gets to a point where every game there's just decision after decision, either there's some sort of conspiracy theory that they don't want us in there, or our players keep doing things that are wrong. But you can't imagine that they are, because at the same time you think, like, these guys are supposed to be professional footballers. They know the rules. Yeah, it's kind of mad how VAR's kind of ruined a few games for us.
Our season.
Yeah,
basically.
and it's already going bad enough.
Yeah, and I mean, that's
we don't need the team
more.
having the 12th man as the ref and then the 13th man as the VAR.
No,
we need
it's hard enough to survive in this division as it is.
Have we actually had a single VAR decision go in our favour?
Nope, not once. We've got 0.
Have we had any VAR calls for us?
I'm not sure, but we've had 5 go against us. I know that. With the second highest, Liverpool are the first with 6.
That tells you everything then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously,
but we haven't got
the 2 best teams in the league, and they're causing problems.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I really don't know what to really say about the VAR decisions now, because they are. I mean,
VAR is not to blame for us losing 5-1.
No, VAR is not to blame for us losing 5-1. That is down to just poor mentality.
A lot of people have been putting up VAR is the reason we lost. It is a load of rubbish. It contributed to it, but there's still 10 players on that pitch, and if you're well organised enough, you can do a job.
I'm going to go slightly one further. There's not just 10 players. There's 10 professional football players on that pitch that should be dealing with it. That is their job.
And a manager.
Right? Yeah. And there's a manager there who's there to tell them how to deal with it. If they can't do it, then you've got to ask questions.
Yeah.
In those scenarios, what do? Do you just automatically go, right, sorry, Grant, you're off. We're bringing on an extra defender. We are just defending. What do you do?
I don't know. I mean, bringing up Grant, how many more games do we give him before? I'm not a Grant is rubbish and all this sort of stuff, but
sure,
I think Robinson should be our main starting focal point up front. I put it out on Instagram earlier and everyone's agreeing.
We've seen how many times have we seen them start together?
I think it was once, wasn't it?
I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, I think
I'd like to see a partnership develop between the two of them, because, like you said, I think they can complement each other's play well. From what I know of Karlan Grant, he's good at getting goals and he can get them. And Robinson seems to love running around players and sort of running into space. Like in the last game, there was all these beautiful little movements between them and Pereira. I want to see more of that.
I don't understand why if we are going to go with a front two, like it was Diangana this weekend with him
Yeah.
up front, I think Robinson should be the first forward on that list
Yeah,
out of all of them.
I agree.
The guy in form, he hit the bar in the United game. He scored the most goals for us.
Yeah.
Gallagher's catching him now, which is brilliant to see. But yeah, I think Robinson should definitely be our first name on the team sheet in terms of a forward.
Yeah.
I think Grant comes second. Personally,
Yeah.
I don't understand why Slav's not starting him.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because, you look at, a
Is it
few of the
because he's been playing
times.
a lot of international games and he's been
Maybe.
away with that and he's just come back
Maybe.
from COVID? Maybe I don't know, but I think he's got to start personally.
Yeah. I think, I like I say, I think for me, it would be nice to have Robinson and Grant starting up front together consistently for the next few games. Have both of them up front. Now we're in a scenario where we maybe have to put Diangana sitting just behind them, or even Gallagher sitting just behind them.
We've got to look for a new
Even if we go,
creative
go for like a 5-3-2 or something like that.
Do you know, it's
for
a
the
real
next few
shame.
games.
It's a real shame as well because Pereira was just starting to sparkle a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He showed glimpses of it the game before at United,
looks so good.
and but in that game as well, he was just doing these little bits, and you're thinking, yeah, you're starting to get
getting
back to what you were
comfy.
doing in the Championship.
Getting comfy in the
And
league,
then
and he knows what to do
now
now.
he's got a 3-game ban, which is a massive boots to fill, isn't it? I'd be tempted to move Connor a bit further forward, put him in that role.
Put Connor just behind them, get those
Because
three moving forward.
he'll work really hard with Robinson and another Grant up top to force the closing down of play, because he does run all game. He's shown that, Gallagher.
Yeah.
And then maybe I think Sawyer's played quite well as well at the weekend.
Yeah,
again, I think
he's
well.
getting better now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's building his confidence back up. So it's just slotting someone in next to him, whether it's Livermore if he's come back and if he's fit after having COVID, or
you've got Harper, you've got Field when he's fit.
Kravinovic.
Yeah, exactly. Kravinovic probably deserves more starts.
There's enough players there to drop him in, but just push Gallagher on that bit further, especially now he's scoring as well. It's another asset to his game, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, no, he had another good game as well, Gallagher.
Yeah.
I thought, again, man of the match for me.
That's fair as far as West Brom players go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Johnson, I thought, had a good game again. Made some really good saves, but
yeah,
it just looks bad on him, doesn't it? Because we've let 5 in, but it wasn't. They weren't all his fault.
No.
I mean, would you make any changes for the next game at the back anywhere? Another thing I was going to say, sorry, before you answer that question,
gives me time to think.
Matty Phillips, thought played quite well at left wing back.
He did a good job.
I don't think he had a bad game. I put a thing up on Instagram saying who should we start, and now Townsend's out, Gibbs or O'Shea. Didn't even think about Phillips. Didn't even consider him for a place, even though we were both questioned why has he come on at left wing back.
Yeah.
Last game, but no.
Slav's got a plan.
Yeah, he's obviously he did quite well, but I don't know what's happening with Gibbs. I think he must be right down the pecking order after that Everton game.
After that red card, he's probably just thinking
pissed Slav off, hasn't he?
Yeah, which would happen. I mean, I don't know if the same will happen for Pereira now. That's like, look, you've messed that game up. That is on you.
I don't think you could afford to with Pereira.
Yeah,
personally,
it's tricky. Yeah, I mean, any changes that I'd maybe make? I mean, it would be nice to see, Ivanovic, O'Shea, and Ajayi, or Ivanovic, O'Shea, and Bartley as a combination. I don't think Bartley's playing too bad at the moment. I mean, none of those three that I've just said have played badly. None of them are like absolutely atrocious.
No,
but it would just be, I don't know, maybe just to keep it fresh, because we're going to need to start keeping it fresh, because as we both know, around Christmas, the fixture list gets busy around Christmas. So, yeah,
I'd like to see Grzycki given a go as well. He was in
Grzycki would be nice to chuck him in the mix.
He's scoring goals for Poland, and he is a good player. So I think
at this point it can't hurt, can it?
No, I don't think it can. But obviously, the next game we've got Newcastle, haven't we?
We have,
and that's away.
It is away, and there's also a slightly bigger problem with it. The aforementioned COVID going on. They've got a lot of people.
I know, I put it on Instagram earlier. Over 10 people confirmed with COVID in their squad now.
So yeah, I saw that as well.
About it being postponed potentially. I put, do you think we'll get the points? And a lot of people are saying, no, it'll get postponed or move back to a later date. But it's a good time to play him.
Yeah, we haven't
if
got any bloody players.
if they've not got any, yeah. So I
If
mean,
they
if
have
we
to,
can
if
get,
they have to field a team, might be the only other bloody win we get.
well,
So
yeah, I
we
just
haven't got
think,
anyone.
well, yeah, I think we should be pushing to play him. I don't think we should be like, oh yeah, no, we could do with another week off or whatever, because it's such a cram season anyway. I don't know
I
where we'd
know.
fit the game in.
Yeah,
So
it would get wedged in between a Sunday and a Thursday night game. Just chuck it on
yeah,
a Tuesday and just crowd our fixture list. I mean,
hopefully not.
it would be helpful if we got like an automatic win out of it because we need the points.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
be helpful if they weren't allowed to postpone the match and they had to play a team and they ended up playing just a bunch of their kids. Um, my my thought on the whole thing, it should either be cancelled or postponed because of the serious amount of COVID cases that they have at their club. Why would anybody want to put players into? Why would anyone want to put
that's the
people
other
into
thing,
that
isn't
scenario
it?
where people could possibly catch it? It doesn't make sense on that. So, regardless of whether it's a cancel or a postponement, it shouldn't really go ahead until the Newcastle players are fit and healthy again.
Yeah, not really. I don't think when you look at it like that. I mean, if it was West Brom and all of that, if we had 10 of our starting 11 with COVID, we'd all be screaming for the game to be postponed, wouldn't we?
Of
Because
course, we would.
the 10 coming in are going to be youth players.
Yeah,
Basically, we haven't got a strong enough squad, have
yeah,
we, to compete at this sort of level? Whereas Man
no.
City would be like, yeah, that's fine. We just got a second team. We'll just put them out
Yeah,
and they could beat most people. So,
yeah,
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 I think it, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we, if it goes
yeah,
ahead. But yeah,
yeah. And speedy recovery to all the Newcastle players that have got
yeah, of
COVID,
course.
because
Yeah,
I mean, you're in isolation at the moment because of it.
I am unfortunately banging my head against the wall, but
I
none
know
of
I
us have
got
got it. But
there was a case of it at one of the schools I teach at. So
it is
so
it's rife, isn't it?
it
There's
is.
no
So
conspiracy theories.
no, no, it ain't to do
Definitely
with
here.
5G. It is not to do with 5G.
No,
Yeah, fine.
but
Yeah, something else that you wanted to bring up was to do with the lack of fans
yeah, I just think
matches.
watching the games, I obviously watched quite a few over the weekend. I saw the Liverpool game, I saw the Chelsea game. With all their fans in the stadium, you could see it just gave their players a little bit more of a lift, and they
Sure.
had something to celebrate. They were running up to them, and it just, I feel so sorry for our fans that we won't get to
Well, there's
experience
quite a
that
few
at the end of
teams,
the day.
isn't there? There's quite a few.
Yeah,
There's only a few. There were only what 6 or 7 teams that were allowed to let fans in.
yeah,
I can't remember all of them, but I guess again, my sort of thought on the whole thing is we are currently still amidst one of the biggest pandemics we've seen, a global pandemic. I don't actually think it's sensible to have any fans in. Not on a. I mean, yes, it sucks. Of course, we would all love to be at the Hawthorns cheering Albion on and giving them being their 12th man cheering them on. But I don't think that they should have any fans at any stadium until a vaccine's approved and everything's okay and everybody can be safe. Because the worst thing to happen, again, like we just said about the Newcastle game, the worst thing to happen would someone. There's a case, a case of someone having it and they go to the stadium and then they give it to 2,000 people that have been allowed to go and watch Liverpool play. And then it gets onto the players. And then there's just a bunch of people that are really ill with putting their lives at risk. It's not
yeah.
worth it having the people in the stands. It is shit. It is shit. Of course it's
Of course, it's
shit.
rubbish. Yeah, but
And I would love to be back there, but I don't.
I think until
I'm
it's
kind of
safe for
glad that we're not in
everyone,
there. Of course,
I think
yeah,
it's until it's safe for everybody to go back. I don't think any team should have gone back
yeah.
as well, because it does give the other teams an advantage as
Of
well. I
course it
think as
does.
well, because
Yeah,
you've
it
obviously got your
completely
home
does.
support. You've obviously putting pressure on the opposition. So
Yeah,
especially the Millwall fans. That's
yeah.
another story.
Yeah.
But
Another reason why maybe people shouldn't be allowed back in stadiums.
yeah,
Ever.
no. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. I just felt a bit sorry for the team.
Of,
Like
of course.
obviously
So
saying that,
so do
but
I. I feel sorry for any team that doesn't get to have their fans
yeah,
supporting them. Because, like, I guess, on a mild tangent, like my line of work is in live music,
yeah, it is,
which
isn't
is the shittest without an audience because it's like doing a rehearsal. It's
it?
literally I did a live stream last night, and we, you finish playing a song and there's no noise.
Yeah, there's no
And you
like
stand there and
applause
you're,
or
I mean, I'm used to
anything.
there being no round of applause. I've got no problem with that. But a boo would be nice. A bit of a, what is this going on? But
Yeah,
yeah, no, just dead silence. And you just stand there like, oh, this
it's
is
not the
rubbish.
same, is it?
And I can
Yeah,
imagine it's a similar feeling for the players. They're kind of, like we had, the players are getting a bit down, and you do need that chorus of people to just be like,
come
you
on,
can do
boys,
it.
you can
Come
do
on,
it. Yeah,
gang. Let's lift them heads up and have a go.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we'll lift their heads up and have a go.
yeah,
And and see if we can do well. But that's the way of the world. And like I say, I kind of think it's right that there shouldn't be fans in. So, but
yeah,
again, another thing for more debates. Really
yeah, definitely.
interesting to see what anybody watching thinks. If anyone if you think that we should be allowed back into the stadium, it'd be nice to see your comments down below.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else that you want to bring up before we sign off?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything, haven't we? Just obviously, yeah. If the Newcastle game goes ahead, what's your score prediction for that?
I mean, if they have to play kids for absolute drilling,
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
this will be
batter 'em,
this
won't we?
game where Grant gets like 6
Grant gets a hat
goals.
trick. Robbo gets a hat trick.
Yeah, top of the goal scorers list immediately. Just 50-0. I mean, if the game goes ahead, maybe a 2-0 or 3-0 to us. I mean, when we've played much worse teams than us, we've sort of got like 2 or 3 goals. Maybe it would be a similar thing if they haven't got a strong squad. Yeah, maybe that, or realistically, probably a 1-1.
Yeah, I think I'll take a point away from home at Newcastle.
It's getting to a point where I'm not going to accept points now.
Oh, you're not?
Nope. I don't care who we're playing. Man City, I demand 3 points, or don't even bloody turn up.
Well, I think that's what they'll all be aiming for. But yeah, realistically, we've just lost our
completely
best creative.
realistically.
We've lost our creative player. And
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, I think Dean Garner can step into that role. Dean Garner can definitely be creative. I mean,
Edwards
every now and
maybe.
again, if you're ever on YouTube and you find those random videos where it's like a skill compilation, there's still that one clip of Dean Garner doing like that beautiful skill and chipping it over someone's head amidst like Messi, Ronaldo, and all these like world class players, and then Dean Garner's there, and it's just I'm so proud to see my boy
Yeah, he's one of
up
ours.
there up there with some of the best players in the world. My boy, I'm so happy for you. Yeah. So I think he can step into that role. It's just whether he has the same impact on the team as someone like Pereira. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think the same. I think it'll probably be a draw.
Yeah, more than likely. But but luckily, well, I say luckily. I'd hopefully not luckily. I hope that obviously the Newcastle players get healthy, but maybe they'll play a rubbish team and we'll get some points.
Hopefully, yeah. But if we don't,
gotta be careful with the hopefullys.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But
one of them will be well. But I'd like the points, please.
At this point, I wouldn't mind being in the Championship again.
Yeah, there's quite a few fans that have been saying that as well, haven't they? Yes, it's just the way that the refs and VAR again.
No more VAR, no more refs. Just you can celebrate a goal, because that's the other problem as well. The players don't even know where to celebrate a goal. Someone could score an absolute worldie, and then realise that their hand was offside or something like that, and it is killing it a little bit. But
I do think VAR needs a serious reassessment. If we, they do need to sit down with it and really think, right, okay, are we doing this properly? Like, are the decisions that we're making with VAR? I mean, I don't know. I don't even really understand how VAR kind of works. Is there like you get a certain amount of VAR calls? Like, can you go and check the video, or is it just unlimited until the decision goes your way?
Cricket, you get a review. I think you get a few reviews in the game, don't you? Where you can say, "No, I want you to go and review that because that was not out or whatever in cricket." Yeah. So maybe that could be brought in.
Limited to like 2, like 1.5. I don't know.
Yeah, but then they'll be moaning that obviously, but there was a goal after that should have been allowed, but it happens in cricket where there should have been wickets. And rugby union. I mean, I love rugby and I watch rugby quite a lot, and their system works absolutely brilliantly. The refs communicate well. I just don't know why it's not working on a football pitch.
Yes, it's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing, because it's the best game, isn't it? Really,
it is. It is, and
it's getting ruined by bloody computers.
It's getting ruined. Yeah.
There we go. Well, thank you very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you've got any opinions on what we said, please put them in the comments below. We love to hear what you guys have to say. Please click the subscribe button and click that like button as well. So that really helps us out. Socials are on the screen. And I guess we will see you after the game on Saturday.
Yeah. Thanks,
Cheers, guys. We said that at the same time.
We did, didn't we?